and welcome to Get Up and Go with Andrea Booth. I'm your host, Andrea Booth, and I have my husband with me here today.
Hi, everybody out there in podcast land.
It's Garrett Booth, and we have been married 27 years.
Yes,
In
we have.
June, would it be 28, babe?
Can you believe it?
I can't believe it. No, I can't believe it at all.
And
it's
you
February 14th.
You look as lovely today as the day that we got married.
It's February 14th, so I know we're doing this podcast a little bit ahead of time, but it's February 14th when it drops, so I know you've gotten me a wonderful purse, haven't you?
Yeah, there's no question.
Anyway, I'm so excited about today because we're talking about marriage. Just a
That's
little
right.
background on us. We have a daughter that's 24,
Yes.
and she lives in Austin, Texas. And we have a son that is 20, and he lives in Birmingham, Alabama, going to school at Highlands. Give it up for Highlands. And I just want to say that we're empty nesters.
It's true.
It's serious, y'all. Anyway, but it's a good time. I'm enjoying it. I mean, I miss the kids, but I'm enjoying this time in our life.
Well, yeah, we love it that they're thriving and
Yes,
they're doing God's
it's
will.
good. It's good.
And we just celebrate, the
absolutely.
great things that are happening in life. But
Absolutely.
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is a time when we always heard about that there was going to be a time in your marriage when your kids are off doing things, and you look back at each other, and it's just the two of you.
Yeah.
And I just want you to know I love you.
I love you too. And it's been some great meals, just the two of us. Honestly, you're a good cook. He's a good cook, y'all. And so I'm enjoying that. And you cooked for the kids as well. But I just, there's wonderful things. We have the house to ourselves. So it's been
There
a
you
good
go.
time. Anyways, we love hearing stories about how couples met. That's one thing that we always ask when we meet a new couple. And we're just going to share a little story about how we met. I'm going to let Garrett tell it because he likes to exaggerate it.
Well, it's kind of, maybe you call it a parable if you think I'm exaggerating it. Okay, so we met at church, which is a great place to meet somebody. I was on staff working in the youth ministry at the church, and we had a Christian school, and Andrea took a job as a first grade teacher at the Christian school. And before the school year started, so this would have been like in August, before the school year started, she had a little project that she had to do, and she had to use the phone. But the school office was brand new, and they didn't have the phones put in, so she had to come over and use a phone in the youth office. And so I was working away. I was the only one in the office at that time, and here comes through the door Miss Andrea, and she says, can I use the phone? And I said, absolutely. How can I help you in any way that I can possibly help you?
That's not what you said. No. He said, I don't know, can you?
Well, I was always taught that you're supposed to ask, may I? And if you say, can I, it's improper English. Well, anyway, she evidently liked a little bit of my sarcasm, and she wanted to get to know me. And I felt like there's no way that somebody as beautiful and wonderful as her would have interest in me. So I wasn't thinking that way. So she decided to try to get my attention, and somebody taught her how to jam the copy machine that was right outside of my office. So she would literally jam the copy machine, be a damsel in distress. She'd be like, help me, somebody help me. But I was so thick-headed and so dumb and so out of it and so didn't put it together that she wanted me to come help her. I would have like an intern or another staff person. I was like, man, she breaks the copier all the time. Can you believe it? Would you please go help her? And finally, somebody mentioned to me that she thought I was cute or she might be interested in me, and that was all I needed to hear. And then I was like right over there, and I asked her out, and we went out on our first date, and we've been going out on dates ever since.
Oh, wait, yeah, and then he was sarcastic on the first date, too, exactly. Yeah, we went to an Italian restaurant, and the little Parmesan was in a bowl, and it had a little spoon, and you were going to sprinkle it over your spaghetti or whatever, or your lasagna, and so he handed it to me, and I was so nervous. I was shaking, and I spilled it all over my lap.
That is true.
And he goes, what, are you nervous?
She literally dumped the entire thing all over
let's
herself.
Go back to the fact that he asked me, what, are you nervous or something? On our first date. But it
all turned out good.
Well, because I was in love with that sarcasm. I loved it. And I think the church loves it too, actually. But anyways, let's get to the podcast and what we're going to talk about today.
Here we go.
In this one, we're going to talk about a major key that has made the biggest difference in our marriage. And the thing that has made the biggest difference in our marriage is a marriage vision. Having a vision. And all of us can have a stronger, more fulfilling marriage by understanding the power of a marriage vision. And the what of a marriage vision.
Yeah. So let's talk about even what we mean,
Yeah,
right?
what
What
is
is a
that?
marriage vision? When you get married, you have a marriage ceremony, you have marriage vows, you have a marriage
Yeah.
license. But probably even in premarital counseling or something, nobody
Right.
ever talked about a marriage vision.
Yeah.
Certainly,
So what
nobody
is
talked
that?
to us about that. They didn't say, "Well,
Yeah.
you need to figure out what a marriage vision is." So let me just give you a definition that you can hold on to
Sure.
about a marriage vision, and that is a marriage vision answers the question of why did God put us together. And there's a lot in that, Andrea, because obviously we believe that we're together because God put us together, but we want to figure out why. And there's a lot of people that believe wholeheartedly, absolutely, God put us together. But if you said, why did God put you together? They say, man, I know God put us together, but I just don't know why. I don't know how to answer that. And a marriage vision is the answer
Yeah.
to that question. And of course, all of us know marriage can be really complicated. In fact, one person said, whenever there is a wedding, there's actually not just two people who get married, there's 6 people that are involved in the wedding. For example, on her side, there's 3 on her side. See, there's who she thinks she is, there's who he thinks she is, and those aren't the same. And then there's who she really is.
Oh, no.
And then on the groom's side, there's who he thinks he is, there's who she thinks he is, and then there's the joker he really is. And so, like, there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
When we get married, and a marriage vision can really help us to just understand why is it that God put us together. And so I want you to think about maybe your own marriage. If you've been married 5 years, 10 years, 1 year, a month, however long you've been married, what's your answer to the question of why God put you together? Because you may have never thought about that.
Right.
And let's just talk about, like, what does that mean?
So that can be a challenge. And so when it comes to marriage vision, you can find yourself with 3 options. Option number 1, no vision. I didn't even know we needed a vision. I thought all we needed was a marriage license.
Yeah, and that was us.
Scriptures about vision are, without vision, the people perish. Proverbs 29:18. How can 2 walk together if they be not agreed? Amos 3:3. Write down the vision and make it plain. Habakkuk 2:2. And the same is true for a marriage vision. These scriptures work into a marriage vision. You may be here and are listening today and think, I know God put me together, but I have no idea why.
Yeah. And so that'd be like no vision. And we started out that way. We didn't know. We loved each other. We loved God, but we really didn't understand the answer to that question.
Yeah,
Here's
what's
another
option 2?
option.
Yeah.
So it could be no vision, but it also could be option 2, which is division or division.
Yeah.
DI, vision, which is literally a 2-part word. Di means 2 and vision. So what it means is 2 visions. It's 2 people, Andrea, with different ideas about where we're going, and maybe 2 people that are all fighting to be in charge. Somebody once said, in marriage, the 2 become one and then spend the rest of their lives
Figuring
fighting
out
over
which one.
Which one?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, in fact, when it comes to division, the Chinese sign for conflict is one house, like one roof with 2 heads. And division can describe where a lot of people are when it comes to what God's doing, even in their marriage, because I'm trying to fight for my way, you're trying to fight for your way. We have 2 different viewpoints on where we're supposed to go. We're playing tug of war all the time.
Yeah.
Could be in ministry or success, could be doing good things, but there's a struggle. It means there's lots of activity, but maybe not a lot of productivity, or lots of busyness, but not a lot of progress, or it's lots of frantic running around, but not a lot of fruitful results. And so many people find themselves in a place where there's division, 2 visions, but there's another option. So there's no vision, there's division. Third option.
Yeah, is God's vision. That's the one. And
one vision for the both of you.
yeah, that's right. That's the one you want. And so what's so important is you can be a Christian and not have a marriage vision. And we didn't.
Yeah.
We loved each other, but I felt frustrated and out of sync, not sure where we were going. We weren't on the same page.
Yeah.
But, we wanted God's will. We really did. And we wanted God's plan. God to help us with what we needed. We needed a marriage vision.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And then, there's some, so as we've worked that out and worked that through in our own life, going from having no vision to really division, both of us kind of trying to figure that out, to saying, God, what's your vision for us?
That's right.
God, help us see why you put us together and what we're here for together.
Right.
And having that marriage vision really helped us, and it has benefits.
Yeah.
And that's really why we want to share it with all of you, because we believe this could be really beneficial to your marriage and to your relationship. So let me just quickly talk to you about 5 benefits of having a marriage vision. One is shared goals. So when you say, God, tell us why you put us together, and then you have goals around that, they're shared. And we both know where we're going together.
Yeah.
So shared goals. Number 2, shared effort. We're carrying it together.
Right.
So when we look back over the last 27 years, almost 28 now, and we even look forward to what's in front of us, we know we're in it together. And there's something I bring to the table, there's something Andrea brings to the table, and together we're fulfilling the will of God, but it's a shared effort. I don't have to do it all alone.
Right.
Third benefit is easier decision making.
Yes.
Now think about this. When we have a goal and we have a vision in our life that we're pursuing, we can look at decisions and say, does that match the vision God's given us? So when it comes to even practical decisions, where we live, do we buy this house or not buy this house? Does it match the vision? Where should our kids go to school?
Right.
Does that match the vision God's given us? Do we, how we go about budgeting our money? Yeah. Does that match the vision that God's given us? So it helps to help us make decisions. So shared goals, shared effort, easier decision making, shared success.
Yeah, shared success
we're
is a big one. We're a team. We celebrate those steps in the journey.
Yeah. And then the last one, this would be number 5, is God's provision. This is a great principle to remember, that when you pursue God's vision, God's the one who gives you provision.
That's good.
So if it's his vision, he's going to provide for it, and he's going to help us. As long as we're on target with him and we're pursuing the vision God has for us, then he's going to provide what we need along the way. So these are 5 great benefits that really have helped our relationship together and our marriage, and a marriage vision. Really understanding that question, why, has really helped us to build a marriage where we both feel like, man, this is really the adventure, the intimacy that God intended for us to have.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think that this is just something that is missed a lot of times in marriage, that is so, maybe not easy, but something that is so easy to implement into your marriage, is having the vision together and just getting on that same page. Because I think when you're on the same page together and you're doing life that way, it's the most fun.
Yeah, it's the most fun. That's true.
Yeah.
That's
so even a goal like for us, especially when we were younger, I would say that, one of the things that I never like to talk about is money, because I would like to spend it. So, but we had to talk about the vision for the year of what our budget was going to look like. And so we would take time to do that in this, we would have a marriage vision retreat, and we're going to talk about that in the next podcast that we do, and how to unfold that. And so we would talk about that, and it would really keep me on page with you and where you saw us, because you would give me the kind of long-term look at where we want to be. Where do we want to be when we're 65? Andrea, you can't spend it all at 25 if we're going to be here at 65. So there's just things like that. And then just even raising our children, talking about all those kinds of things that really puts a vision. And I think it has to be renewed every year, because, we're forgetful people, honestly, and we can get off track during the year. And that's why we like to take notes about our vision and for our marriage, and so that we stay in step with that, and that we have some check-in times on that. We do obviously date nights, and so we have check-in from time to time on that vision. And so I think it's important that you do that, and it's just something to add to your life together that is very special, and I think can eliminate a lot of conflict in your marriage.
Yeah, and that's why I'm really excited, Andrea, about next week, because hearing that you need a vision, I think all of us go, yes, we want that. But next week, we're going to answer the question on exactly how did you do it?
Yes.
How do you figure out the answer to that question in a way that works? And we're going to take you literally, we're just going to open the door and show you step by step what we've done and how we've pursued capturing the vision that God's given us, and then how we've lived that out in practical ways. And you can literally take the plan we give you next week, and you can just go step by step, and it'll help anybody to discover God's vision for your marriage.
So I guess we're doing a podcast next week, not next month.
Oh, next month I meant.
No, we can slip it in a little early. So we'll do that.
That's up to you. This is your podcast.
I know.
I'm just a guest here.
No,
Thank you, everybody.
but truthfully, I like to do bonus podcasts a couple weeks right after the first one. So yeah, we'll do that.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, it's been fun having you on the podcast, and I can't wait for the next one. So today, I'm so glad that you joined us for Get Up and Go. So we'd love to encourage you to get up and go, share this podcast, subscribe to this podcast, whatever platform you're on, and let us know how we're doing. And we would love to hear from you. So get up and go and have a vision for your marriage. Garrett, would you pray us out?
Absolutely. Lord, thanks for every person who's listening to this podcast at whatever stage they're in relationship-wise. God, I just pray that you'd help us to have your vision for our own lives, and also for every couple that's married, God, that you'd help us to see your vision for our marriage, because we want to live out our faith in our everyday life. We want to get up and go, be the people you've created us to be. We thank you, we love you, we honor you. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.